Hello, everybody. I am just making sure that we are going live everywhere we need to be. Hopefully we are. I'm just checking Instagram, to be honest with you, because that's the one that's a bit funny. But hopefully it is working. If not, hello, everybody else. Okay, so welcome to the live. Oh, we have people. Yay, it's working. Okay, welcome to the live for my first live for Fearless Homeschool. And I thought I'd jump on today because we are, and we got a thumbs up. Thank you for letting me know it's working. Yay. It's probably, if it's one of the presenters, you're awesome as well. We're jumping on live to share some of the presenters, to tell you that we're only 7 days away. So could you please get your tickets early, so if there's any issues, I can help you with it, because it becomes a bit chaotic at the last minute. And hopefully give you a little bit more information about what's happening with the Australian and New Zealand Homeschooling Summit for 2025. First time we're adding the word New Zealand, and I'm so excited because there are so many of the New Zealand presenters here with us now tonight. So for those of you who have not heard that this is on, it's next week from the 3rd to the 7th. It's all online, so you can sit in your PJs all day and just watch. There's no need to do anything else. There are over 25 workshops between the parent workshops and our new child or teen workshops that are happening at least once a day. And excuse me, and I'm really excited by that. We have some really cool workshops for the kids, and it's kind of a taster because we're hoping to do even more of those at the Teen Summit coming up. So without any further ado, I am going to invite some of our presenters onto the stage, and it's random, so they don't even know if they're jumping on. So here we go. Hello, who we got here? We have Erin Hassett, someone, if you've been to the summit, that you know well, and Emma, who joined us for the writing club workshop last year, and Sheena Harris, one of our amazing New Zealand presenters that is jumping on with us for 2025. Welcome, ladies.
Hi.
Hi, everyone.
Sheena's doing well because it's, what time is it now? Nearly 10 o'clock.
Yeah, it's getting there.
Can you let me know a little bit about what you're doing for us, or working through with us at the workshop? Erin and Emma, do you want to go together first? Mm-hmm. You do your thing, and let us know what you're going to be presenting at the workshop. Let everybody who doesn't know who you are, let them know who you are.
You want to go first, Emma?
Sure. So I'm Emma from Sage Beginnings, which is my business supporting women with pregnancy and birth. And I have 5 children who are mostly grown now. There's just one at home. So I've homeschooled them the whole time. And as part of their education, they did a writing club with Erin and some other families, which has grown from those humble beginnings into quite a big group now that's been running for many years. And so we're going to talk some more about that this time at the summit. We talked a lot about how to do it and why we did it and all sorts of things last time. And we're just adding in this time what we've learnt about the way that works for us in creating a community of people. So it works for the facilitators, it works for the children, and yeah, how it's more than just creative exercises, and it's a community, and it's a whole network of people working together. So the parents and the children. And yeah, so we'll be talking more about the details of how we did that. Yeah, you can add to that, Erin. Yeah.
Have we got you, Erin?
You there, Erin?
Yep, I'm here.
Yeah.
I'm going to be honest. I actually had a sound glitch and couldn't hear Emma, but I was reading her lips, so I've got a bit of an idea what she was talking
wow.
and I do know what we're talking about too. So, so just to add on to Emma and the Writing Club, I'll also be talking here about, I'll be joining another Emma, just to make it confusing, from New Zealand, and we'll be talking about our lending libraries. So, and I'll also be making an appearance on a panel about community, but I'll let Micarlé tell you more about that. So the lending libraries is something that I'm very passionate about, and I'm very excited that I have a New Zealand counterpart to discuss with you guys what this phenomenon is that's sweeping across homeschool lands, and what we actually do. Every lending library can look different. We'll be talking more about that. I'll be sharing about how I'm growing my lending library's membership, what I'm doing. I'm actually running a book club, which Emma Sage is actually part of, because, you know, we just do these things together, don't we, Emma? And
we do.
And yes, I'll be talking lots about that, and you'll be pushing me off and tell me to stop talking because I have lots to say.
But it's so exciting to see how homeschooling mums, which actually leads into one of the other panels, but how homeschooling mums are running little businesses on the side, or how they're making that all work in, well, I would say sometimes mine's not that cohesive, but how that's all working in one cohesive way. And I was very excited when Erin suggested this, because I think even with the lending library part of it, it's going to be beautiful for you to be able to show how you've just grown it as well organically, and how you've done that community connection, which I think can be scary for some people.
Yeah. And I guess that ties into the panel, community.
Yes, it does tie into our community panel. Sheena, I've left you sitting there quietly for too long. Can you let us know a little bit about yourself? Because this is your first time with your face in the summit.
Yeah, kia ora from New Zealand, and I come with this kind of funny mix of feeling like a Kiwi, but I don't sound like one. So I grew up in Scotland, but I've called New Zealand home for 18 years now. And I'm mum to 3 fabulous boys who are, 2 of them have now graduated from homeschool, and my youngest is 15. And so I'm just in this amazing place of getting to see kind of the result and the experiment, as it were, that it's kind of worked. I think it's been okay with my kids, and I'm still enjoying homeschooling our 15-year-old for the next however long, maybe a couple of years. And so I'm just like really loving having, you know, journeyed on this since my eldest was just turned, he was 6 when I started. So he was in school for a year, and then we've homeschooled the rest of the way. And now I've like seen them coming through the teen years in particular. I think I've grown and learned a lot of ways that I can support others, and ways that, you know, our teens' needs can be met through different ways of homeschooling. So I'm excited to be presenting a workshop, which is something that I've been doing in my locality, which is encouraging and teaching speech and debate to high school teens.
Nice.
Yeah.
I'd like my daughter to learn how to debate in an official capacity instead of just me. It'd be lovely.
It's a really interesting thing, and we start with that, you know, like the teens sort of come to my class, my group thing, and they're all kind of like, like their parents have made them come usually. They had no choice whatsoever. You are going to that class to learn to public speak and to properly do this stuff, and they turn up in front of me, and I've got to kind of help them enjoy it somehow, and we get there. It's a bit of a thick ice to break, but we get there. But you know, the teens all think they know how to debate. They're like, yeah, we can do this. And then we get into it a bit, and it stretches, it challenges, but there's some amazing life skills in this stuff, and so I'm really passionate about it, and really keen and excited about bringing this, and hopefully inspiring others where they are. Yeah,
that's awesome. And Sheena, you're joining us for a panel as well.
Yes, I'm looking forward to being a part of the panel, talking about working and homeschooling, and how, you know, you can have business or work alongside educating your children and raising them to be hopefully functioning, amazing human beings. So that's an exciting conversation I'm looking forward to as well.
Beautiful. Thank you, ladies. I am going to just randomly pick some new people to jump on the screen. Thank you for having a chat.
Thank you, Micarlé.
Thank
See
you
you later.
Micarlé.
See you
Thank
next
you.
week.
Bye, everyone.
All right, who are we going to add to the screen? Who's it going to be? Okay, here we go. It's more who I can see at once, to be honest with you. All right. Oh, here we go. I might add. There we go. Well, I've chosen all New Zealanders, so some new faces for the people that have been to the summits before, but obviously not new faces to some of the people that are in New Zealand. So we have Rosie Boom, welcome.
Hello.
Shirley and Nadia. And
Hello.
I'm going to hand over to Rosie first to let us know who this amazing woman is and what she's been up to for a very long time, and what she's going to talk about to us at the summit.
Great. Well, I'm hoping you can hear me because I've just had a glitch and haven't been able to. Yes, good.
You're loud
Hello,
and clear.
I'm Rosie. Good, wonderful. Yeah, well, maybe I'll be the oldest person on this conference. I don't know. But I'm blessed with 6 children and 3 daughters and 3 sons, 3 of whom I had in my 40s. So I was a late starter, but I discovered homeschooling, and it's been one of the greatest joys of my life. And I realize, talking to a lot of people, they don't necessarily find the joy. And that's one of my passions, is to try and help mums who believe in homeschooling but are really struggling, help them to find the joy, because that's what carries us over the finish line. So I finished homeschooling after 23 years, about 3 years ago. And I'm still very passionate about homeschooling, and I still am very involved in the community in New Zealand, which is lovely. And I'm going to be sharing something which for me has been a real basic thing, one of the most important things, and that is how to create a warm and loving home in which we teach our children. How do we create a place where our children discover the love of learning and where it's an enjoyable experience? And easier said than done sometimes. So I'm going to be sharing some very practical things of how things that I've discovered. I'm basing it a lot around a Dutch word, being married to a Dutchman, and I'll share that word, but it's about the importance of warmth. A warm, cozy atmosphere enhances everything. And if we can create the right atmosphere in our homes, the vibe, our children will learn better. They will enjoy it. And the whole way through, I wanted my children to enjoy. Okay, they don't enjoy everything, I know that, but basically, so that when they get to the end of it and they have children, they will want to homeschool their own children. And yes, it's
which is happening for you, isn't it? It's happening for you, isn't it?
Yes, it is. Yeah, so that's
cool.
Wonderful. And yeah, it's exciting. So I'm passionate about that. And I went to China about 5 years ago, and I gave all the different places where I was going, maybe 20 different workshops, all sorts of homeschooling things. And every single place chose this one workshop, how to create a warm and loving home. And it absolutely surprised me. It made me realize they know that's what's important. Yeah, so looking forward to it. Thank you for having me.
Oh, thank you for sharing. And if you don't know anything about Rosie, you'll actually know that there's a lot more behind that and behind Mrs. Rosie Boom than she's spoken about. So it's exciting to get to know her more. Let's
Thank you.
hand over to Nadia.
Hello. So I'm Nadia from Learning Our Own Way in New Zealand. I am an unschooling consultant, so I work with families all over New Zealand who generally are applying to home educate their children, so they're usually quite new to the journey. I specialise in working with families who are neurodivergent or have neurodivergent kids. So it's kind of a niche area where a lot of families are either new to home educating and coming straight from like play centre or something very child focused, or they've pulled their child out of school because they're going through school trauma and are really struggling. So I will be sharing some insights that I've gained through working with these families, well over 100 families over the last couple of years, as well as sharing a little bit about my own journey with my own 2 children. So I'm unschooling my 2 children. I'm relatively new to the journey as well compared to these amazing women who have adult and teen children. Mine are only 8 and 5. I'm also really immersed in our Auckland unschooling community here and helping people find their tribe and connecting. But yeah, generally I'm just going to be talking about unschooling and neurodivergent learners and how we can really tap into our children's inner wisdom and to their deep interests to make it a really exciting and engaging lifestyle. Yeah.
And you say niche, Nadia, but in Australia, that is the biggest growing group of homeschoolers, is that neurodiverse. It's not working at school and coming out of school and realizing that they can support their child in a much more loving and accessible way. So it is, I was so excited when that was the topic that you threw at me, because I think it's much needed in Australia as well.
Absolutely. We're so well represented in the groups around that I come across as having neurodiverse kids. And just from our community alone, these kids are able to be in a place where they're fully accepted and loved, not just by their own family, but the other families within the group. And just being able to build communities like that where kids can really thrive and be celebrated for their unique self is something so beautiful. So I'm really passionate about that. Yeah.
Thank you. And Shirley's been sitting there patiently, so I will hand over to you, Shirley.
Thank you. I've been homeschooling for 27 years now, and I'm also a mum of 6 kids with 2 university graduates and children who are now young adults. But the topic I'm going to be speaking about in this particular summit is laying a strong foundation in the early years. Because I know we all start out parenting and particularly homeschooling as amateurs. And so it's incredible that there's a platform like this for parents to come and actually equip themselves for this new career that they are taking on. So I commend everybody who's going to be watching and educating themselves. And in this particular talk about laying a strong foundation, I'm not giving it away now, but I'm going to boil it down to about 3 things that you need to do in the first 7 to 8 years of your child's life to set them up for later success as young adults, because that's something we all worry about. Am I doing enough? Is this going to work out? Are my kids going to be successful when they leave home? And a lot of young parents ask, what's the best curriculum? And that's the first thing they want to know. And I'm not talking about curricula at all. It's going to be 3 things that are easy to do, especially when you're a young mom like I was, always pregnant, always got babies, toddlers. You know, life is chaos. Your house is always a mess. You're always behind with the laundry. You don't need, difficult things that you have to do. These are just things you can fit into your day that are fun and relaxing, but highly effective. And there's research that shows why they are effective and how they develop the brains of children and the skills that children need for academics later. But these are not academic things. So I hope that's going to really be encouraging to parents who are possibly feeling like, I'm not doing enough, and we don't have the best, most expensive phonics program, and we don't have the best home library like all these other mothers, and we don't, you always feel inadequate in some way, because we do compare, with what we think is going on in school or what we did at school, or we compare with a homeschool family down the road who are in a different financial bracket, or they've got family support, or they've got older children to help. We just do that as young mothers. And so I'm hoping to just relieve the stress and give you 3 easy things that you can do. And if I'm doing that, I'm going to be doing okay. And yeah, as I say, we'll get to the proof about these things in the talk. But
And
it's
I
going to
love
be
that you're, sorry, I cut you off. I love that you're coming from the brain aspect, because for me, anything brain, especially child and teen brain, I'm all for. I just love reading about it and learning about it. And like you said, if you understand someone's executive development, cognitive development, there's so much power in that. And then you adding strategies to that is amazing. Like, it's good. I'm excited. I am going to say goodbye. Thank you for joining us, ladies. And I just had Nat, who just said so many new faces this year and how much homeschooling experience. I know, Nat, I heard, was it 26 years? And I just was like, oh my goodness. I'm looking forward to learning from all these passionate and skilled mamas. Me too, Nat. I'm very, very excited. So thank you, ladies. Okay, the last 3 people, I think, see you later, are coming up. Here we go. Okay, I've got Jelena, Adele, and Erin. I think that is everybody. We have 2 Aussies and another New Zealander. Welcome to the screen, ladies. You've been sitting patiently. Thank you. Oh, how are we all?
Hi, everyone.
Good. Good. Thank you. Let's start with Jelena, because she knows the drill. Go for it, Jelena.
I feel like I'm an Aussie, but I'm married to a Kiwi, so I'm like, yay for both. And I apologise, I'm in the dark. My light has blown, but I'm a daytime presenter, so I look much brighter in my presentation. But thank you, Micarlé. Micarlé, actually, you and I are going to share my presentation. We're going to be talking about parenting leaders, encouraging teens and tweens to lead and serve and inspire. I'm probably coming from that passionate time in my life because I do have teens who are doing these things. And one of the things I did want to talk about in that is just, I guess, that we don't have to have those school leadership positions as homeschoolers. There's plenty out there for our kids to do. And whether that comes from a very formalised leadership situation or whether it's more a natural thing. But I don't want to talk too much about that. I'm a homeschool mum of 4. They're all teenagers and coming up to young adult now. I'm an advocate. I have a big passion for rural and regional because that's where I live, rural, so I have a group there. So yeah, I'm really excited for the summit. I'm excited to see everybody else's talk. Micarlé, do you have any? Oh, the other thing is I'm doing one of the kids activities.
Yes.
Yeah. Which is a good lead on. So we're going to be talking about this leading and peer mentoring. And then my own son is going to lead the Code Club because he is a peer mentor. So that'll be right after.
Yes, it's going to lead literally in Monday. It's Jelena backed by Jelena. First up. So it's going to be Monday morning is Jelena's time, and she's being very understated, this woman is being right now, about how she is supporting especially rural homeschooling families, and the amount of effort and work she puts into all of these people and these groups is just phenomenal. And her teens help her do that. So when she's talking about how a teen can inspire and can serve, her kids are literally walking images of this. So I'm really, really excited. Anyone who's followed me for a little bit of time knows that I was a secondary teacher, so teens are my jam, and I'm not wishing my children's life away, but I'm actually very excited for when they are teens and I get to watch them be them. Again, if you know me at all, I'm not a maternal person. I love my children. but the kids, I'm really excited about the teen stage. So I'm excited to hear what Jelena says and just throw in my little bits as we go along.
Yeah, so I'm looking forward to it. I really am, and just sharing some of my own family stories, but also a couple of other kids as well that I've come across, and how I guess that double edge of how I'm doing it within our own family, but then also how you can provide opportunities or look for opportunities for others.
Thank you so much, Jelena. I'm going to go across to Erin as well, who is at NZ, but she's also doing one of the kids' workshops on top of her workshop. So there we go.
Yes, I am. I'll start with that then.
Go for it. Oh, you can do whatever you want.
Well, hi everyone. I'm Erin. I live in New Zealand. I have 6 children. 3, 4 are adults. I say 3, 4 because the 4th one is being an adult, but I would not say he's quite an adult yet. And 2 teenagers. So the middle child who's still a teen adult. And I homeschooled primary, intermediate years. One child homeschooled a little bit into high school. One child went off to school, the last one, for the end of primary. But yeah, I started teaching online. I started doing online classes for other homeschoolers. So that's now a full-time business for me. I teach homeschoolers, just not my own children. So I run online classes, mostly history and social studies. That's my absolute favorite, but also English and tiny bit of science in there as well. But my talk next week is going to be on introducing poetry and Shakespeare, and how not to be worried about it if that's something that scares you, or if it bored you at high school, or if you've got no idea how to get your kids, your teenage boys, your 10-year-old into poetry, or into some Shakespeare, then come along to my talk. And then the workshop I'm running is a little mini introduction to Shakespeare for the kids who attend that one. So we'll be looking at Shakespeare, we'll be looking at some of his language, and just making it a little bit more accessible and fun and interesting. So yeah, what else?
I'd like to say here that Erin actually threw a whole lot of subjects at me, and I'm sorry if anyone else was interested in anything else, but I wanted to learn how to introduce Shakespeare and poetry. So this is just very selfish of me, to be honest with you, that she's doing this one at the summit. So I'm extremely excited. It's not my maths science brain. This is not my natural gig. So I'm pretty excited to learn it as we hit those ages for the kids.
So there we go. Yay.
And you will be doing the same as Jelena. So I think it's Thursday. Correct me if I'm wrong. Thursday afternoonish. Erin will be jumping on and doing her parent workshop, followed by her teen workshop or kid workshop. So you'll be able to know that if she's on, get your kids ready, because after she's finished with you, she's going to hang out with them for a bit. And Adele's just popped back in. Hello, Adele. Thank you, Erin. We'll just have a quick chat with Adele, and then I think we're nearly done. How are you, Adele? You've been very patient. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Things a little bit. It's kicked me out 3 times tonight, so we'll see how we go.
Yeah, you're a bit funny. You're a bit all over the shop.
Can I just keep talking? Would that help?
Go have a talk. We just can't see your face going. But if you want to quickly let us know what you're doing, because yours is a very interesting workshop, to be honest, as is everybody's. But I'm excited about this. I don't think it's really been done.
So
we're losing you, Adele. Oh, sorry, Adele. We actually can't hear you, so I might just let you go. And then I will just let everybody know what you're doing. I'm so sorry. So Adele will be talking about child rights when it comes to homeschooling and understanding how that links into homeschooling. She's talking about the Maslow hierarchy. Nope, wrong one. which one was it? My brain's gone blank. She's talking about basically how to connect children's rights to homeschooling and understanding that process, because a lot of time we get a bit scared about registration and all those type of things. But really, when you actually look into registration, and in Australia especially, a lot of it's just about ensuring that we protect a child's right to education. And so she's going to link into how that works. Sometimes we as parents see it as an overall, hey, you're being, watched. And she's not going to talk about registration much, but if you come from the fact that, yes, we're choosing to home educate our child and it's something we want, but we also have to understand that the child's rights have to be considered in here. And most of the time that's where we're coming from. So I'm actually really interested to hear Adele speak. It's not, hopefully we've got a clearer line for that, but it's going to be very exciting. That is all our presenters that I think were in the room. And so I am going to say goodbye to everyone for the night. Hopefully you got a bit of a flair from all the presenters about what they're doing. And there's so much more, but they're all very personable, very experienced homeschoolers ready to share with you in the summit. So you come and join us the 3rd to the 7th of March for a whole week of fun and connection and learning. And we hope to see you there. Bye, everybody.